At the peak of House Targaryen's power, they commanded nearly 20 dragons. This was a dynasty that possessed absolute aerial dominance over the Seven Kingdoms. Yet within just a few years, the family turned those dragons on one another, bringing their own empire to the edge of extinction. The seeds of this collapse were planted during a time of immense prosperity. King Viserys I inherited a stable realm from his grandfather, and throughout his reign, his primary focus was maintaining that peace at any cost. But the line of succession was suddenly thrown into doubt following the death of his wife, Queen Aemma, and their infant son. This left Viserys with no clear male heir, and the kingdom facing the threat of a power vacuum. To solve the crisis, Viserys took an unprecedented step. He named his only surviving child, Princess Rhaenyra, as his official heir. He then required every major lord in Westeros to travel to the capital and swear a binding oath of loyalty to her. Viserys believed that once the oaths were sworn and the law was written, the matter was closed. He trusted that the singular weight of a royal decree would be enough to prevent any future challenges to Rhaenyra's claim. However, the family dynamic changed when Viserys remarried Alicent Hightower. Unlike his first marriage, this union produced several healthy sons, including Prince Aegon. This chart illustrates the monarchy's structural flaw. The king's decree supporting Rhaenyra sits opposite the Westerosi tradition of male succession supporting Aegon. As lords favored a male king, Viserys ignored the contradiction, padlocking his decree while tension mounted between law and tradition. By treating his decree as an unchangeable fact while the circumstances of his family shifted, Viserys effectively provided both his daughter and his son with a legitimate legal path to the same throne. This legal ambiguity split the court into two uncompromising factions. Supporters of Rhaenyra became known as the Blacks, while the supporters of Queen Alicent and her children are labeled the Greens. The conflict began in the shadows, fought through strategic marriages. Rhaenyra wed Laenor Velaryon to secure the realm's largest navy, and later married her uncle, Prince Daemon, to bring one of the kingdom's most experienced dragon riders to her side. The Greens responded with a war of information, spreading rumors about the legitimacy of Rhaenyra's children to undermine her standing as a future queen. As Viserys' health failed, he continued to insist on the illusion of a unified family. He forced these two warring factions to attend public feasts and council meetings together, even as their resentment for one another became impossible to hide. Because the king refused to address the divide while he was alive, the factional struggle was simply pushed beneath the surface, ensuring a violent explosion the moment he was gone. In 129 AC, King Viserys I finally died. The Green Council moved instantly to control the narrative. They kept the king's death a secret for days, locking the gates of the Red Keep to ensure Rhaenyra, who was miles away on Dragonstone, remained completely unaware that her father was dead. While the official heir was isolated, the Greens staged a rapid coronation. They brought Prince Aegon to the Dragon Pit and crowned him as King Aegon II before the rest of the realm could even react. News finally reached Rhaenyra on Dragonstone, where the shock of her father's death and the news of the coup triggered a premature labor. She suffered the tragic loss of her newborn daughter, Visenya, who was stillborn amidst the chaos. Grieving and defiant, Rhaenyra held her own coronation on Dragonstone, officially claiming her title as queen. The kingdom was now officially fractured. With two monarchs wearing two different crowns, the time for a peaceful political resolution had passed. The war began as a diplomatic race. Both sides sent ravens across Westeros, securing military alliances to force the other to back down. But dragons changed everything. The map shows strike zones, regions where a single rider could incinerate an entire army. Both sides hesitated to use them. They knew that if the dragons were unleashed, they would be burning the very kingdom they were trying to rule. This created a high-stakes stalemate. The dragons were too powerful to deploy casually, but their presence meant that any miscalculation risked a firestorm that could erase entire cities from the map. That miscalculation happened at Storm's End. Lucerys flew his dragon to secure the Baratheons' loyalty, only to find his rival, Prince Aemond, already there, accompanied by Vhagar, a dragon so large she could swallow Lucerys' mount whole. As Lucerys tried to fly home through a violent